What if the signs your heart has been sending you for months or even years are ones you've been explaining away as something else entirely? Too much coffee, a stressful week, getting older, not enough sleep. For millions of Americans over 50, that's exactly what happens. The warning signs are there. They're real, and they get dismissed until something far more serious occurs. Heart disease is the leading cause of death in the United States. It kills more Americans every year than the next four causes of death combined. And the most dangerous thing about it is not how severe it is, it's how quietly it develops and how routinely its early signals get ignored. Today, we're going to walk you through the warning signs research has consistently linked to cardiovascular risk, the ones most commonly dismissed as normal aging, what's actually happening in your body when they appear, and what you should do about them. Because the gap between a warning sign and a cardiac event is a window, and what you do in that window matters enormously. Most people think of a heart attack as a sudden event, but the process that leads to it typically unfolds over decades. Atherosclerosis, the buildup of plaque inside arterial walls, begins in many Americans in their 20s and 30s. By the time someone reaches their 50s, decades of accumulation may have already significantly narrowed key arteries. The heart doesn't usually go from perfectly healthy to catastrophic failure overnight. It sends signals, subtle at first, then more insistent, and those signals overlap almost perfectly with the general experience of aging, which is precisely why they get ignored. The first warning sign is chest discomfort that comes and goes. Most people expect a heart attack to feel like crushing, dramatic pain, but research on warning signs preceding cardiac events tells a different story. Many people who later experience heart attacks report weeks or months of intermittent chest discomfort beforehand. Pressure, tightness, heaviness, or a vague aching sensation that came and went. This is angina, reduced blood flow to the heart muscle, and it is frequently dismissed as indigestion, muscle tension, or stress. It tends to occur during physical exertion or emotional stress and resolves with rest. Recurring chest discomfort following this pattern warrants medical evaluation regardless of how mild it feels. The second is shortness of breath, disproportionate to the activity. Feeling winded after climbing one flight of stairs, at a level noticeably changed from your baseline, is different from ordinary exertion. When the heart struggles to pump efficiently, fluid can back up into the lungs, making breathing harder. This often develops so gradually that people adapt, unconsciously taking elevators, slowing their pace, avoiding activities that trigger breathlessness, without registering that their functional capacity has meaningfully declined. A noticeable change in exercise tolerance over the past year or two is information worth taking seriously. The third is fatigue that is disproportionate, persistent, and unexplained. This is the warning sign women most commonly report in the weeks before a cardiac event, and most commonly have dismissed. Not ordinary tiredness. A profound exhaustion that doesn't improve with rest, makes routine activities feel effortful, and represents a genuine change from previous baseline. When the heart isn't pumping efficiently, the body diverts blood away from muscles to protect vital organs, producing fatigue that is cardiovascular in origin, but almost universally attributed to stress, poor sleep, or aging. The fourth is irregular heartbeat or palpitations. Frequent palpitations, a sensation of racing or pounding, or episodes where the heart feels like it's beating irregularly deserve evaluation. Atrial fibrillation affects an estimated 6 to 12% of Americans over 65 and is a significant independent risk factor for stroke. Many people attribute their symptoms to anxiety or caffeine. An irregular pulse detected by a smartwatch or doctor is always worth investigating. The fifth is pain or discomfort in unexpected locations. The heart shares nerve pathways with other parts of the body, meaning cardiac distress can manifest as left arm aching, jaw pain, shoulder discomfort, upper back pain, or neck tightness. These referred pain patterns are well documented but poorly understood by most people, and often dismissed as arthritis, muscle strain, or dental problems. Women are more likely than men to experience these atypical presentations, which is one reason women's cardiac symptoms are historically underdiagnosed. The sixth is swelling in the legs, ankles, or feet. When the heart is struggling, fluid backs up into the lower extremities, causing edema. This is often attributed to long days of standing or simply aging. Edema that is new, persistent, worsening, or accompanied by shortness of breath is a signal worth reporting to a doctor. Combined with breathlessness, it can indicate heart failure, eminently treatable when caught early. The seventh is dizziness, lightheadedness, or near fainting. When cardiac output is reduced, the brain is one of the first organs to register the shortfall. Dizziness when standing, lightheadedness during exertion, or a near-fainting sensation can reflect cardiovascular compromise. When new, recurrent, or accompanied by chest discomfort or palpitations, they warrant prompt evaluation. Now let's talk about what you can actually do. Know your numbers and know which ones matter most. Blood pressure, LDL, HDL, triglycerides, and fasting blood sugar are standard, but high-sensitivity CRP, the inflammatory marker from our first video, is an independent cardiovascular risk predictor that standard panels often miss. Coronary artery calcium scoring directly visualizes plaque in the coronary arteries and is one of the most powerful tools for identifying high-risk individuals who appear low risk on standard tests. The lifestyle factors with the most consistent cardiovascular protection evidence are ones we've covered throughout this series. Regular aerobic exercise, an anti-inflammatory dietary pattern, adequate sleep, management of chronic stress. These are the primary modifiable determinants of cardiovascular risk, and perhaps the most important point in this entire video. Women's cardiac symptoms are systematically different and systematically underrecognized. Women are more likely to experience fatigue, shortness of breath, nausea, jaw pain, and back pain as primary symptoms rather than classic chest pressure. They are more likely to have symptoms attributed to anxiety. They wait longer before seeking care. If you are a woman over 50 and something feels wrong, even if you can't clearly describe it, even if a previous evaluation came back normal, persistent symptoms that represent a genuine change from your baseline deserve follow-up. Trust the signal. If this was useful, hit the like button. It helps more people over 50 find content like this. Subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. And leave a comment below. Were any of these warning signs familiar? You might be helping someone else recognize something important. We'll see you in the next one.